Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everybody, Gnarlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we were right here. We had made it all the way back out of Moria to the Dimrill Gate. And we had followed Svanr. We are actually in an instant to greet the sky. We came out here. Svanr says he needs a few minutes to rest and recoup and reflect on what has gone on. So we are going to give him a few minutes, and he has asked us to go to talk to someone at Mechambizru, which, if I remember correctly, is the camp right down here. So we are going to mount up on our goat, head on down the Dimrill Stair, come on out of Moria, and head into the lands of Nanduhirion. The lands in between the gates of Moria and a very special golden wood down at the far, far bottom of this hill here. Alright, is this the correct place? It's Mechambizru. Indeed it is. Mechambizru. Alright, and we've got a person standing right here that it looks like we can talk to. And the orcs will pay. That's what he has to say. Welcome to Mechambizru. I am pleased to see that you made it out of Moria with your skin still intact. You must be a bold warrior. You may rest here and look out upon fair Khaledzaram. Alright, the dwarf invites you to look out upon Khaledzaram. Talk to a dwarf at the Miramir's edge. And there is the Miramir. It's right here. It's the lake that reflects. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. If you go look in it, Gimli took Frodo here, and somewhere along here, Gimli took Frodo here after they'd come out of Moria, and they looked down in the Miramir, and in the lake surface you can see all the stars shining back at you. Day or night, you can always see the nighttime sky shining back at you in the Miramir. And this is also where, in the stories, if you remember Balin, who led the expedition to take Moria back, and whose tomb we find within. This is where Balin was killed by an arrow, an orc arrow. He was gazing, and he had gone to gaze into the Miramir, and he was slain from behind behind a rock. Probably one of these right here. A orc shot an arrow and killed him. So here we are. Let us talk to this town person. Beautiful, is it not? It is true that the stars of the Miramir shimmer always upon the surface of the water, be it day or night. Look for yourself. So we are to look out on the Miramir. This is a good vantage point. Indeed it is. Let's look. Let's not look at the town person. The waters of Khaledzaram look cool and clear, the stars shining fair upon the surface like glimmering jewels. Alright, return to Svanr. Easy enough. We'll go back on up the hill here. Hopefully he has regathered himself. We have come out pretty good time here. We've come out at dusk. And so it gives us enough light that we can see what's going on out here really, really well. But when we return into Moria here shortly, because we will be going back into Moria and finishing up, continuing to work through Volume 2 here. Once we go back into Moria, it'll be nighttime and we can turn our lantern on. Isn't that wonderful? Let's go up here and talk to Svanr.
These halls will be great once more.
How fair and fresh the dale. I am glad I lived to see it. Completed the instance. Greet the sky. And that's why you'll notice that nobody down there had jobs. They were all townsfolk. And why, when we were inside starting this, you couldn't go talk to the stable master and all. They were just dwarves. Because there isn't this actual instance here. It's just us. I feel refreshed and ready to return to the depths of Khazad-dûm to continue helping the expedition establish a foothold What do you plan to do? Alright. That should be Svanr there. I think it is. Let's see if we can talk to him. Greet the sky.
May Durin return soon to his halls.
Nice. How much legendary item experience, I wonder, is it going to give us? We've actually got some items. Before we finish up with him, I think I'm going to visit the stable master over here. Do a little metagaming here. We are going to go visit the stable master.
These halls will be great once more.
We will swift travel to the 21st hall and reforge our items that need reforging. And then we will come back and finish up the quest with Svanr here. So I will see you when we return. Alright, we have returned, and as I said, it is actually, we are passing into the nighttime. I think it is what? The gloaming? Evening. Evening is the first part of night. So we passed on from dusk, and you notice we're able to turn on our light now. So Moria is always best to explore during the nighttime. Oh, what has it been? 8 years. 8 years, and I wish they would have done something about that. But I don't think it's going to happen now. Anyway, let's finish up with Svanr. You'll notice that our second age burglar's dagger has leveled up to level 39. So that was very good. We did reforge one of them. I can't remember which one it was that had hit the max. But it was nice to hit it and get it leveled back up some more. So that when we get the experience here, it will actually count for something.
May Durin return soon to his halls.
Greet the sky. I feel better already. A bit of fresh air does one good, even a dwarf. Now I cannot wait to delve back into the great mine. I have not yet decided where to settle. Perhaps the deep descent or the chamber of the crossroads. Sunlight is a lovely break from the dark, but I am a dwarf after all. So let's see. Choose one. Rune of Defense, Tier 2 Rune of Defense, Deflection, or Avoidance. Trying to think. Defense, Deflection, and Avoidance. Which one might give us... I'm thinking Avoidance might be Agility, but it doesn't really matter. It's a level 2, and we are going to get in here shortly. There we go, our burglar's tool of the second age reached level 11. That was the one we forged up, so it is going up. We are going to see shortly about doing some work on our various runes and everything. Relic Master can deconstruct this item. Can we do it right-clicking? Eh, can't do it right-clicking, can you? Some of the stuff you can, some of the stuff you can't. That's about the legendary item leveling up. I wish it didn't give you one every single time it leveled up. Especially here in these lower levels. These first 20 or 30 levels, you get an awful lot of notices. After that, they don't come quite as quick. But those who came before...
We have little time to speak. Great events have been set in motion.
You seem ill at ease, Gnarlo. What is it? After a moment's consideration, you tell Svanr that you are still curious about the bridge of Khazad-dûm. That is an odd thing to say, but you may as well take another look at it if it will ease your mind. I do not know what came to pass there, or why it was shattered so. Do not get your hopes up that there will be further evidence, but look on it once more if you must. This is a solo instance and cannot be completed in a fellowship. Alright, so we are going to go look on the bridge of Khazad-dûm once more. By all means, go have another look, Gnarlo. Instance, those who came before. Walk out onto the bridge of Khazad-dûm. I pretty much know what's coming on here. This is always a good... guess that's my goat. Don't see any of the orcs and goblins and all that kind of stuff around. You have discovered the bridge of Khazad-dûm, East Arch. A title has been bestowed upon you. You may now be known as Gnarlo, Friend of the Nine. as we have completed in the footsteps of the Fellowship. And we have acquired an honor trait, 100 marks and 5 turbine points. So we will take a look at that as well before we finish up. But let's walk on out onto the bridge. Whoa. A strange memory unfolds. A riddle of a memory unfolded before your eyes as Gandalf faced the most fearsome creature you have ever beheld. Wow. Return to the goat to travel back. I thought I remembered something like that happening. I thought it was a little bit longer, though. I must be misremembering that, because I really don't think they would have cut. I thought in the past that you had the Fellowship sitting here, and like you would hear Gandalf say, you know, back to the darkness, and them yelling, Gandalf, and him, fly, you fools. But I think that's just, you know, my memory being really, really poor at how long ago. It's been years and years since I did this instance. And that is such an iconic episode there that I really don't see them cutting it any. So I think that must have been how it was. You have explored the bridge of Khazad-dûm before leaving Moria and beheld a memory of Gandalf facing a terrible foe. The goat will return you now to the first hall in Nude Melek. Says you had a strange vision of Gandalf and a frightening foe, a terrible vision. Did the Fellowship come this way? Let's go back and talk to Svanr once more. Those who came before.
Dwarves must fight for dwarves.
Did you see anything of interest, Gnarlo? Any evidence of what happened? You feel shaken by what you saw and uncertain of the truth in it. You choose to say nothing at this time. Ah, well, I did not think there would be much worth in scouting it out. Perhaps someday we will solve the riddle. Svanr is quite the quest giver here, isn't he? All right, we've got friends at the gate.
If we are to find Mithril in Khazad-dûm, we will first have to deal with the orcs.
You look as though you're ready to move on at last, my friend. Why do you not head over to Mecham-Bezru? It will be quite an adequate resting point before you head into the deadly trees of Lothlorien. That's friends at the gate and those who never came out.
Stand and speak with me. The fate of Khazad-dûm hangs in the balance.
You would like to pay a tribute to the fallen dwarves of Moria, would you? Well, I noticed some fair flowers in empty vases out on the Dimrill Gate. Perhaps you can show your respects to those who never made it out alive by planting some white flowers in their memory. So pick flowers to commemorate the fallen dwarves. We can probably do that, sure. We'll go and see about finishing up here out in the fresh air, and I won't say sunshine, but moonlight of the area of Lothlorien. Let us take a look here at this. And what we've got, said title awarded was Gnarlo, Friend of the Nine. You have laid your own footsteps and those of the 9 companions who set out from Rivendell. So that means we have found all the places in the deed, the footsteps of the Fellowship. You know, we found Durin's Threshold. We found the Chamber of the Crossroads. We found the 21st Hall. We found the Chamber of Mazarbul, the Chamber of Records. We found the West Arch of the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. We found the East Arch, that was the last one that we had. And of course we found the First Hall. And I'm going to do my panoramic, and we will cover the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, the East Arch, whenever I do that. The Bridge of Khazad-dûm. The Bridge of Khazad-dûm has stood over this great chasm for many a long age, but it does so no more. The eastern span now reaches out like a finger, pointing into the darkness beyond. It seems that whatever destroyed the bridge fell not so long ago, as flakes of rock can still be seen occasionally cracking away from the shattered tip to fall away into the chasm, and fresh arrows pepper the stonework there. One more thing. What is that? Oh, the turbine points granted. All right. Said we would do our little panoramic thing. In fact, I probably just inserted it there. And we are going to come on down, talk to the friends at the gate, and we are going to pick fair flowers. These are the vases that he's wanting us to put flowers in to commemorate the ones who have fallen in Khazad-dûm. In fact, we'll go ahead and pick these fair flowers as we come across them. We need 6. And they are going to be quite easy to find. You wouldn't think that the dwarves were so romantic, would you? I'll have to do the quest. Remember the instances back there were the library. Both of those dwarves give you quests to go in and find books. And one of them is giving you a quest to, if I remember correctly, it's been a while, but one of them is giving you a quest to, like, find a book of dwarven poetry, if I remember right. He's wanting to read dwarven poetry or romance or something like that. And his whole thing is, he's like, what, does it surprise you that dwarves would read poetry, that we would have a romantic side? So we'll have to take a look at those quests sometime. All right, let's plant the flowers to remember the fallen dwarves who never made it out. It is the one unfortunate thing about a multiplayer game, especially an MMO of this sort, is that, you know, if this was Skyrim or Ultimas or something like that, any of the Elder Scrolls, any of the first-person games, doing this would change the world permanently, of course. And anytime we came through here, we would always have these flowers sitting there to remind us of our memorial to the dwarves within. Quest ready to advance, those who never came out. You have commemorated the fallen dwarves of the expedition appropriately. The bright flowers will grow here like the hope and boldness kindled in the heart of every dwarf. They may have lost their lives, but their legacy shall live on. Alright. So we do not have to go back and talk to Svanr. And we probably won't have to go back in and talk to him after this either. Looks like they have made it just as you've seen before, like when we were over there in some of those dwarf orc strongholds, those orc forts that have been built inside. The way you pick up quests just by getting there, it looks like they have done quite a bit to make the quest easier to turn in as well, streamline that whole situation, so that you don't have to go coming in and constantly zone in and zone out. Let's see. Talk to someone at Mekambazru. Let's see. Would you be someone?
Might you lend me an ear?
No. Wonder if it's the one standing outside there.
By Durin's beard, won't you give me even a moment?
Okay. Let's talk to the obvious one. The elf standing out here. Would you be someone at...
Hail, stranger. If you are rested, I have a request of you.
Oh, me. There we go. There's the flaming ring we were looking for. Friends at the gate.
This is unthinkable!
Welcome, welcome. As you can see, all are welcome at Mekambazru, where elves and dwarves come together to face the enemies of Moria and Lorien. What can we do for you here? Your travels in Khazad-dûm must have wearied you. Alright, let's get the healing potion. There we are. So we have now finished off all of Svanr's quest, I believe. Okay. We've got a Forge Master here. As you see, there's a Forge Master. A Relic Master should be around here as well. Milestone, mailbox, stable master, provisioners, all the...
Make of Annen.
There we go. And now we've got the stable master, who currently sends us into places we can't get to, because I think his stuff is all down in Lorien. In Lothlorien down there. So we are not able to... there's the relic master. We're not able to actually use any of his stuff at this point in time. Okay. So I think that is where we're going to call it. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode than normal. Part of it is, I hope everybody had a good Turkey Day. We just had Thanksgiving this week here in the States. And had a very nice Thanksgiving. I was working it at the hospital. I have to work again tonight, in fact, so I'll be going to bed here shortly. But before that happens, I've got a football game to go and watch with my wife. Got to go see Barcelona play. So I'm going to have to call it an early day so I can get that out of the way and then get some sleep before I have to go back into work tonight. And we've got something else to reforge, so it's good. Our Dagger of the Second Age. Good, we're right here with the Forge Master. But I hope y'all had a good Turkey Day, if that's what you celebrate, a good Thanksgiving. As I said, I was at the hospital working, but it was a quiet night. Not too much of an issue. And working with good friends and co-workers at the hospital. So I had a lot to be thankful for there. And got a free meal out of the bargain as well. What can you complain about that? Free food and holiday pay. Best thing to do on a holiday, right? So, there we go. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. Have yourselves a good weekend. We will see you again tomorrow. And I hope y'all have a good one. So, thanks for coming along, and bye-bye.